The world today has three major problems that, unless rectified, will lead to chaos, turmoil, and war, and a complete breakdown of society. The first is corruption. Almost all governments of the world are corrupt, at every level. Some more than others, but they are all corrupt and do not care about the people that they have been appointed to serve. They only care about themselves and their rich friends. They do not serve the people. They want the people to serve them. In many countries, the leaders live in palaces, while many of their own people live far below the poverty level. Is this fair? The leaders have all the luxuries, while their own people can't even afford to buy enough food every day. We're starting to see this in the Middle East, where the people have woken up and have had enough. They're fed up with this inequality and are demanding change. But the problem is that even if they get a new government, the same thing just starts all over again. Even if they go from a dictatorship to a democracy, not much changes. In fact, it is much harder to get rid of the corruption in a democracy than it is in a dictatorship. Because in a dictatorship or a monarchy, you only have a few people to get rid of. In a democracy, you have several. Because the government is corrupt, the people do not respect or believe their leaders, and they become corrupt themselves. If they can do it, I can do it too, becomes the status quo. This leads to a situation where no one trusts anyone, and everyone tries to take advantage of everyone else, which totally debases people's values and morals. The second problem is with the people of this world. Most are asleep. Only a small number know what is really going on. And these people understand that there are a group of very rich and powerful people called the elite or the Illuminati or globalists or whatever you want to call them, who actually run the world. They control everything and have their key people in all positions of power. They control the money, the media, the military, all the major businesses, and almost everything else. This is the shadow government. They decide which laws are passed and which aren't. They set the price of oil and gold. They manipulate markets and interest rates. And they're the ones that determine the direction of the economies of the world. And the small number of people that understand this can do absolutely nothing about it, even though they know what's going on. But the bigger problem is with the rest of the people, because they don't have a clue that any of this is even happening. And when you start to tell them about it, they just look at you like you came from some other planet. These are the people that still think that presidents run countries, that markets go up and down because of buyers and sellers' decisions, and that prices fluctuate at random due to varying circumstances. The elite love this because it gives them no opposition whatsoever to furthering their agenda. This is starting to change, but very slowly, as more and more people get informed, but far too slowly to even keep up with the elite, who are way ahead of them. It's been said that there are those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that wonder what happened. The elite are making things happen. Those that know are watching things happen, and those that don't will someday say, "What happened?" By the time they wake up, it'll be too late. The elite will usher in their new world order and make everyone a slave to their system. They are right now just waiting for the right time to crash the economy and then demand immediate payment from everyone for their loans which they won't be able to pay. Then they will take away all their possessions, and those poor people will lose everything. And on top of that, still owe the banks all the money for their loans and have nothing to show for it. They will be on the hook to the elite forever, because they will also owe their portion of the national debt. And this is exactly what the elite want. Many people today are up to their eyeballs in debt and playing right into their plan. The third reason the world is in big trouble is because almost every nation has now turned their back on God. All through the Bible, whenever a nation served God, they lived in peace and prosperity. But when a nation did not obey God, they were overrun by other nations, and they became slaves to that nation. This is what is happening now. Very soon, we're all going to be slaves to the elite for that very reason. We have turned our backs on God. Science, technology, philosophy, and money have all replaced God. We don't need God in our life anymore. We think we can do it better on our own. Yet when all of this collapses, we will be crying out for help, but it'll be too late. Well, this pretty much sums up what is happening and where we're headed as a nation and as a species. Welcome to your future. At this point, we can't even change it. It's too late. I don't think any nation will turn to God now, the way Nineveh did when Jonah preached to them. So we will have to go through the coming depression and tribulation period to learn our lessons the hard way. The only thing we can change is ourselves. If each one of us turns back to God and begins to pray for our nation, maybe we can make a difference. And if we can't change the world, at least we will change our own life, our future, and our eternal destiny. And that would make it all worthwhile. You can find out more about all these topics in my other videos. God bless you all.